Thank you. Good evening. Namaste, Avar, Abhinandan, and warm greeting from the green, beautiful campus, Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi. I am Dr. Sanjeev Sharma, and I am Assistant Director or HRDC JNU, and this is also the National Resource Center. So we are also conducting these ARPIT courses from this center also. On behalf of my director, because due to some urgency meeting, he may not be able to attend this valedictory sessions. So my regard, I'm conveying the regard of my director to all of you. And it gives me an immense pleasure and matter of pride and honor to host this valedictory session for these two short-term courses. And these two short-term courses are the first short-term course for this the academic session for HRDC. And I would happy to share with you that the course on this entrepreneurship and industries and startup, this is the first time we have allotted from the UGC. So first of all, I would heartily welcome our esteemed guest, Professor Rana Pratap Singh, who is our rector in School of Life Sciences and chairperson for Special Center of System Medicine. Professor Rana Pratap Singh is a renowned professor of cancer biology, and he was also earlier professor in University of California, USA, and Central University of Gujarat, and more than 150 publications in various highly impact factor journals. We have with us our the guest for the day, Dr. Jitendra Singh. Thank you very much, sir, for sparing your valuable time and joining us on this the special occasion. The director, Dr. Jitendra Singh, sir, is director at PhD Chamber of Commerce and Industries. His domain is education, innovation, and startup industry and electronics. So he has a vast experience with working in the industry and developing networking with the academia, and which is like the one of our the motive for this the short-term course also. I would like to state here, my friend, that due to this coronavirus pandemic from the last year, you know that this education system has entirely changed throughout the globe, and the situation is no different in India also. And now many of the education institution is conducting their teaching through online program also. So as per the direction by the UGC from the last year, we are conducting all our HRDC program through online. In addition to these, we are also conducting some the webinar also, and some seminar and conferences also. And this year, just we have started these two programs. I would like to welcome our the coordinator also. We have with us the coordinator for the disaster management study, Professor P.K. Joshi, sir. He is also the chairperson for the Special Center for the Disaster Studies and professor in School of Environmental Studies also. We have with us very two dynamic young faculty of the JNU. By their effort, we have got this course for the first time for this year. So we have with us Dr. Hemant Rituraj Kushwaha. He is a faculty in School of Biotechnology, and Dr. Anamika Gulati, faculty in the Center for Studies in Science Policy. I would also welcome to all the participants from these two courses, and welcome and thank you very much for joining this course. So without delaying, I would like to request now the coordinator for the first short-term course on entrepreneurship, innovation, and startup, kindly present the brief report of the course. Over to you, the coordinator for the short-term course on entrepreneurship, innovation, and startup.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sanjeev. And I'm very grateful to my participants who have joined our course in startup and innovation and entrepreneurship. We tried our best to bring to you the idea of entrepreneurship, so that when you go back to your universities and go back to your institutions, you can inculcate the culture of entrepreneurship and startups among your students and among your faculties. So overall, we have got 22 participants in this course from various domains, from various specializations, being from commerce to sociology to science background. And these all participants and their valuable teaching experience has benefited us a lot, giving the new dimension to the entrepreneurship culture as well. Apart from that, we had 18 resource persons for our program. And these resource persons, apart from their specific domain areas from academia, we also had resource persons from industry. And this is the first time we have included resource persons from various industries who themselves have walked the path of entrepreneurial journey in their lifetime. And these companies and these people have done a lot during their career, taking the risk and developed the entrepreneurship image, and that they have tried to inculcate the idea of entrepreneurship and now providing employment to the large scale area of the society. Apart from that, these all lectures were dedicated on various themes, and these themes were right from development of ideation to developing idea into an entrepreneurial journey as well. Plus, we have talked about the funding opportunities, and we have talked about the regulatory and the legal aspect of the startups as well. So these resource persons have provided ample dimensions of entrepreneurship and startup culture, which we need to develop the perfect startup for any kind of journey. So this is specifically what we have aimed. And as per our feedback, we have taken the feedback from the our participants, and we definitely like to improve with the further sessions as well. And we'll try to inculcate the new aspect and new dimensions to the entrepreneurship and startup culture in this course from the next time onwards. Thank you very much. Over to Dr. Sanjeev.
Thank you, Dr. Hemant. I would like to request Dr. Anamika. Would you like to say something?
Yes, thank you. First of all, I would like to thank HRDC JNU for giving us the opportunity to coordinate this first ever session on innovation, entrepreneurship, and startups. Further, I would like to thank the participants who wholeheartedly participated in this course and listen to the resource persons we have collected for them, and then they gauge the knowledge of the topic we were interested in conveying to them. We have received the feedbacks from the participants. I would just like to point out some basic feedbacks that we have received from the participants so that we can work upon these feedbacks and have more of these into our forthcoming sessions. So some of the participants even told us that they felt that the duration was short. They wanted to have a bigger course on such a vast topic, because there is so much to learn, because this is everything new for the faculty, especially faculty fraternity is feeling that this is something new that is coming up in new education policy and overall our government policy. So they wanted to learn more and more about it so we can have a bigger course on that. And wanted to understand more on a regulatory and policy making of entrepreneurs and startups. So these were the few things that they really wanted to have, and we'll try to inculcate these things into our future courses. I was really glad to learn from the participants that there has been a fire in their minds now that yes, we can also do something innovative and can start our startups. So that was the most motivating words we heard from the participants. So thank you, HRDC, for providing me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Anamika. So in continuation with the sharing the brief report of the course, now my humble request to our Professor P.K. Joshi, sir. Sir, kindly present your brief report about the course. So like you are always the opener batsman. So last year we have a very good year. So this year also. Yeah, over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sanjeev. Namaskar and good afternoon to all. Professor Rana Pratap Singh ji, Director Jawaharlal Nehru University, Dr. Jatinder Singh, Director PhD, Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Professor Brijesh Kumar Pandey ji, and Dr. Sanjeev Kumar at HRDC. All dear course participants, heartiest congratulations for completing the 4th short-term course on disaster management. Indeed, it was a pleasure that a cohort of 21 representing 10 states of the country underwent this training program. The cohort was a wonderful representation of, representation of the desired gender ratio, with 11 women colleagues in this. We had 18 resource persons from academia, research, policy making, civil society, Indian Army, Indian Air Force, and National Institutes of Importance, so as to cater all-round exposure and knowledge come experiences. As a course coordinator, I like the deliveries, which were diverse by design and contents, and were in order to match the expectations of interdisciplinary group of musicians, literature, physical and biological sciences, geography, anthropology, among few more. Today, when we sit in this world, so disaster has become a walk of life. So there are no disciplinary boundaries here, and that is our course participants showed by their presentation here. So all the participants were very active and actually very sincere in attending the lectures. Of and all classroom liveliness, in spite of being online, was a great value to this. For example, what I noticed is all the session moderators were kept, they actually kept us overwhelmed with their preparation to introduce the speaker and generating the discussions after the lecture was delivered, and also proposing a wonderful vote of thanks in their own unique ways. So this is a true spirit of teacher which they had shown. In fact, many of the resource persons, they have expressed their satisfaction for the quality interaction which they had with our valuable participants. So I am personally often left without any with a very strong friendly contact with the participants, and it has happened in this course also. So I can very happily say today I have another 21 good people who are appended to my friend list. So that kind of attachment as a coordinator I got to see with these participants. So in a feedback session, we had a very good appreciable kind of words, but there were some of very wonderful inputs, and I'm very sure as I will be sharing those with HRDC, those will go in hand while improving on our sessions for the coming years, and specifically with this course on disaster management. I am hopeful that the participants must have found the mix of knowledge valuable and interesting to understand the practicums which are worth sharing with their students, colleagues, and also family members about disaster risk reduction and prevention when they go back home. I know we were not able to match the expectations of everybody because of the having diverse group, and also because we are online. So had they been here on campus, then the beauty of course and interaction would have actually improved. But at the same time, I should affirm all the authorities sitting over here that we hadn't compromised with the contents, and which has actually come out in their feedbacks. So I wish all participants must have relished it as they expressed. So HRDC was of great support for smooth running of this course. In addition to director and assistant director, Mr. Gaurav, Ms. Neha, they were of a great value, and they were always available to interact with participants, resource persons, and me via email, WhatsApp, phone, SMS messages, just to ensure that the things flow in a desired and as per the requirement is. It is actually the flow of information which was there. So now with these ambassadors, I will call them, of HRDC JNU after completing this course, this cohort of 21 participants will have to continue flow of this information when they are back to their assignments. And I'm very confident after interacting with them in this morning for an hour, they will maintain the momentum which they have earned during this coursework. So thank you very much to HRDC for providing me this wonderful opportunity. And I wish I could be of some use to you in future as well. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Very much, sir. Thank you for sharing the brief report about the course. And I would like to highlight here that the purpose of these courses is to update the existing knowledge and skill enhancement of the faculty members so that they don't see themselves as a mere instructor, but as designer and a member of learning development team with particular goal in their mind, and to encourage teacher to develop in-house education technology incubator that help entrepreneurial startup get off the grounds by providing them with researcher, mentorship and connection, and linking with them to the capital and to participate in seminars, symposia, workshop, etc. And we all know that a teacher can never truly teach unless he is still learning himself. So a teacher is always like the students. So now I would like to request our respected Rector, Professor Rana Pratap Singh, sir. Sir, my humble request to you, kindly address the participant. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Sanjeev ji. First of all, I'd like to extend a very good afternoon to everyone. We are also thankful to Dr. Jatinder Singh, Director, PhD, Chamber of Commerce and Industry, for sparing his valuable time for this program and joining us to this valedictory session. This is a very wonderful experience to hear about the course from the course coordinators. And we just heard that the course in entrepreneurship, innovation, and startup, it is the first one which was sanctioned by UGC to JNU. So this was a kind of experiment for JNU to see the interest of the faculty members, how many faculty members might be interested in getting their exposure for such courses. And the response, what we just heard, it is overwhelming. And I am sure that this course is going to get more and more attention from the faculty members around the country from different universities and colleges. Entrepreneurship, innovation, and startup. I remember I also had one lecture in this course where I got an opportunity to discuss with the participants what are the opportunities in these areas, what are the hurdles, and how we can overcome. There are different aspects if we look into this. Since we are in the university system where our focus is mostly teaching and research, and these three aspects, they are coming just next to that. Means how the research and invention which are being done in the university campus, they can be translated into the innovation, startups, and entrepreneurship. This gap is there in our education system. As we just heard that in national education policy, the emphasis has been given on these aspects. So how to integrate these areas? It is also going to come maybe in the course curriculum at different university campuses. For example, in JNU, we just started a new center, that is a special center for systems medicine. And for PhD program, all of us know that we have research methodology that is compulsory for all the PhD students, whether they are in science or non-science streams. There we thought that from the beginning itself, the students are pursuing their research, how to expose them to these concepts of startup, innovation, and entrepreneurship. So one course has been introduced in the pre-PhD program itself, 2 credits. So those students will get an opportunity to have the exposure on these areas from the experts, and 2 credit course with at least 32 hours exposure. So that may ignite their mind that whatever research areas they are pursuing, what are the potential in that area to move towards these directions. And this is very important, since from both the courses, I just heard that we have around total 40 participants. And if we are getting exposure in these areas, how we can pass on our experiences to our students, that is also a very important responsibility on our shoulders. In HRDC, the mandate is that how we can train the faculty members so that all the knowledge and development, whatever is happening in various areas after getting exposure, how it reaches to the students' community. I am very much sure that through you, the students are going to benefit, since this is a very short-term course, this 1 week. And I also heard that since the first course was very much new to all of us, so understanding any new area, it requires some time. So maybe next time our HRDC can request UGC to see whether the duration of this course can be increased. Related to, again, innovation and entrepreneurship, how to change the mindset of students, that is very important. They should not be just restricted to the theory courses and getting their grades and percentages. How they can utilize their knowledge in the field of translational values, that should be also there in our mind when we are teaching our courses. Because I see in each and every course, there is a possibility of translation to something which will be valuable to the society or any section of our society. So how we can identify those areas, that is also a challenge before us. After getting the exposure from different experts, I am sure that you might be having several questions in your mind based on your expertise, which those experts might have not touched. But you yourself might have analyzed that, yes, even in my area of expertise, this is the possibility how I can move from this step to another step and enter into this startup system. Recently, you might have heard that now government has brought a policy for patenting where they have reduced the fee substantially. The patent fee, which used to be earlier, if it is 100%, out of that 80% is reduced. So only 20% patent fee is payable at present. This is another step from the government to encourage the students and faculty members for coming up with their research and do the patent and move in this direction. So for this, I am very much thankful to both the coordinators, Dr. Hemant Kushwaha from School of Biotechnology and Dr. Anamika Gulati from Science Policy in School of Social Sciences, JNU, for preparing a wonderful course, as well as the tough task was to get the resource person for the objectives and the course content what you prepared. You have done a great job. So I am very much thankful to both of you for successfully conducting this course. The second course today, we have the disaster management, which was concluded. Professor Joshi, he is expert in this area, working from several decades, I would say. And he has worked at many places. So his experience and exposure, it's so vast that if you just sit with him and start discussing, it will be never ending. It can go on and on. So that kind of richness he is having in this field. I remember earlier years, this course has been very much successful and it was very much in demand from different sections of the universities and colleges. So when we are attending these courses, since today is the concluding time, so it is basically to review what we have done in last 1 week and just see where to go from here. And for the course coordinators, after getting the feedback, how they are going to organize the next course. During one, all of you might be assessing yourself, I am sure, that how much you have improved yourself, how much you have improved yourself in terms of the knowledge or the expertise, what you had just 1 week before versus today. And I am sure that you will find yourself enriched in terms of the course which you have attended. The knowledge and the exposure and the type of resource person to which you got a chance to interact, I am sure that you will be happy with that. In any case, as we know that there might be challenges or hurdles, but we have to find the way out and also to see the opportunity. For disaster management, currently this is so relevant and important that all of us, whether it is at a country level or the state level, or even if you keep going down, even at a family level or at personal level, from individual to state, everybody is facing some or the other types of disaster, whether it is natural disaster or man-made disaster. So this course is so important that in my understanding, this should be a kind of compulsory course at certain level through which each and every student should go. That is what I feel. And I may be not wrong if I say that after attending the course of 1 week on disaster management, you might have also the same feeling that this had such a practical knowledge and practical advantages of the exposure that each and every student, even not only students, each and every family member should be knowing about all the preventive measures, that what kind of disaster could happen, what are the risks of the disasters, how the risk can be reduced, and if we face the disaster, then what should be our response. I am sure that all these areas and subjects might have been covered within 1 week. And to know more about this, you may be looking for more and more time. But at this level, we can explore and find out ourselves if we have interest to look into a particular area, that what kind of disaster is going to happen. And currently we all know that health is a very important area where everyone is facing this challenge. In man-made disaster also, whether it is environmental pollution or degradation or various kind of accidents, it's happening everywhere. So this is a kind of challenge before us, which is very relevant to each and every person of the society. And I am sure that all of you might have benefited from 1 week of exposure in this area in terms of the knowledge, as well as the depth of the knowledge and how these kind of epidemics or insecurity can be managed. Currently, the displacement of the people or population or the loss of life is another challenge happening many places, happening in many places. So this is such a vast area. That is what I felt that this should be kind of a compulsory course or core course at some level where everyone should get exposed to. So with this, I am very much thankful to the director as well as the assistant director of HRDC, Professor Brajesh Pandey and Dr. Sanjeev ji, for successfully running the programs at HRDC. And since these two were the first programs for this session, as you said, so also I extend congratulations to you for completing the first session, these two programs in the beginning itself. You also said that
It's 4 o'clock.
the participants are just missing one thing, that they are not able to come in the campus. Otherwise, along with the lectures, the environment and the ecosystem, whatever we have in the campus, that is being missed to all the participants who are not from the JNU. I see there are some faculty members who are from JNU, so they may not be missing that. So let's hope that in some of the other courses, these participants will get an opportunity to come to the JNU campus, and they will have an exposure, and they will also enjoy the environment, whatever we have in the campus. So with this, I once again congratulate all the participants for successfully completing both the courses. Thank you, Sanjeev ji.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for your enlightening words. And we were honored to have listened to your insightful speech, sir. And I do hope that it would motivate, inspire, and encourage our participants and all of us. And my special thanks to you, sir, because whatever the program we are conducting, this is only due to your support and encouraging. So sir is always asking that how the program is going. So thank you very much, sir, for on behalf of the HRDC. Thank you very much, sir. So now in continuation with this, now I would like to request Professor Dr. Jitendra Singh ji, Director, PhD, Chamber of Commerce and Industry, New Delhi. Sir, my humble request to you, kindly address our participant. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, all the esteemed panelists and all the esteemed delegates of this session, and good afternoon again. At the outset, I am thankful to Jawaharlal Nehru University, UGC, HRDC, for inviting me for this first short-term course on entrepreneurship, innovation, and startups, and also coupled with this fourth short-term course on disaster management. In fact, disaster management, as now said by Professor Rana, also it is one of the most sought after courses nowadays, because as we know, post-COVID, everybody is now, it's amply clear that disaster management lessons are must, be it a man-made disaster or a natural disaster, whatever it is. And the course on entrepreneurship, innovation, and startups involving the faculty members, in fact, and also inviting industry as the resource persons, is one of the best examples of industry academia interface that JNU is basically practicing for many years together. I have had the opportunity to visit JNU campus around 3-4 years times. In fact, in the last year when we visited the biotechnology center and also the incubation center, and the faculties that are undergoing courses in this are nothing but, this is the perfect example of making entrepreneurs within the academic system. We have the entrepreneurs who start their own businesses, and within the academic system, we have the entrepreneurs, and all the esteemed delegates and the esteemed faculty members who are right now here on this window, they are all the entrepreneurs. Thank you very much, in fact, for first of all taking this course, because this is very, very important. Because if you see in terms of, as Professor Rana said, that normally it is said that in universities in India, like we have restricted ourselves more towards teaching, research. And the next offshoots of our teaching research is now we are coming into the innovations, we are coming into entrepreneurship models, wherein we are learning some of the basic tenets of entrepreneurship and delivering lectures to the students So they also become probably, job providers there rather than job seekers, which our country needs most. And suddenly, entrepreneurship has become a very, very fast developing trend, which, focus on startups. And if only our nation's businesses, whether they are large or small, they could become more entrepreneurial. The thinking goes that we would improve our productivity and also compete more effectively in the world marketplace. And thanks to this 2016 Startup India scheme, which was launched by the Honorable Prime Minister, the scheme was basically for nurturing the innovations and startups in the country. And now, startups and entrepreneurship and innovation has become a sort of seductive challenge within the university systems. And this has become very, very exciting. And thanks to the incubation centers, the TPIs, the technology business incubators, and also the Atal Innovation Missions, and different type of ecosystem that has been created by the entire industry academia interface, wherein we are finding many, many new challenging things. And if you see this startup journey or entrepreneurship journey, what I feel that since we interact with many decision makers of the industry in our organization, and many of them they are of the same sort of they have a same belief that starting an entrepreneurship journey or having a startup is just like comparing with climbing the Mount Everest, because once we climb Mount Everest, not everybody makes it in the first attempt. Some even don't survive, but those who succeed, they are considered as heroes. They become legends. They actually create legacies for the future generations. And as Professor Rana said about the practical insights that now our faculty members are being exposed in terms of what's actually happening in the business era, in terms of mentorship, in terms of translation, that is translating actual the theoretical parts into practical parts to our future generations, which becomes very, very valuable to the society. And of late, we have seen this lot of trend going on in unicorns. In fact, if you read this business paper, every week there are new 2 or 3 unicorns that are emerging. From the last, I have been following these unicorns for the last 4 years, and this is in fact a very, very fascinating journey. Right now, we are in a very, very exciting time. And as we know that unicorn is any startup that achieves a valuation of close to $1 billion. And in fact, there was a RBI report around 3 days back on the latest outlook on the state of economy, in which the RBI said that the debut unicorns is a new era that has clearly begun that could make 2021 as the India's year of IPO. And this is again one of a very, very exciting statement. And as we are heading towards 100 unicorns, I'm sure that more and more entrepreneurship climate and startup climate and innovation climate is going to actually spread across entire university system and education system. And also, if we see the global innovation index in terms of the innovation capability of our country, right now we are at rank 48 among 131 economies, which is again a good sign. In fact, we have moved around 4 positions from the last year in 2020, and some of the highly scored parameters were like ICT services export, graduates in science and engineering, quality of universities. So these were some of the parameters which actually helped us to climb this global innovation index series. So this is again a very, very positive sign. And now we are seeing that there's a greater partnership that is forming, and this partnership is nothing of humanity and technology. So humanity, we know that we are all deep rooted in our cultural values. We believe in some of the best of the some of the best of the things by which we are actually able to create enabling ecosystem for our future generations. And coupled with this technology, this is one of the greatest partnerships of the time that now we are seeing. And in this endeavor of this partnership, there has to be a deep root of co-creation, because normally my humble submission to all the faculty members and to all the delegates is that we need to come out of the silos. In fact, we have perpetual, or you can say chronic habit of working in silos. But now the time has come that we need to reap some of the seeds of partnerships and co-creation. Because I'm of firm opinion that if anybody is starting any business or startup, they should have a co-founder. No matter like how much you trust your team, you cannot never be completely honest about your fears, about your apprehensions, and you can never fully share the burden of responsibility when things get difficult. And in all these things, when we are driven by healthy debates in the model of co-creation, when we have co-founders in our setup, then we can never be lonely. Because what happens as a human being, we cannot keep ourselves charged all the time. There has to be some support system who can actually, give us some sort of, these monumental charges from time to time so that we are consistently consistent in our endeavors. And that is one of the very challenging thing that we need to understand, that we need to create bonds, we need to have co-founders, we need to have that esprit de corps. This is one of the the fundamentals of management businesses, esprit de corps, wherein there is a sort of a co-creation and there is a spirit of camaraderie within the organization, and that can only happen if we have partners, if we have co-founders within this startup ecosystem. And also we need to remember that building a business is not a marathon. It's just like a more of a, it's not a sprint, but it is a marathon. And this advice, in fact, at PhD Chamber of Commerce Industry, we have a coaching and mentoring cell for the startups, wherein we run many cohorts for the startups. Our industry members are the mentors for many of these cohorts. And extensively, this advice has been pumped into all our startups, that businesses, any business that you are starting is basically, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Because sometimes what happens, like when we raise our first round of funding, it's seen with the startups also, that the expectations become so high, the founders or co-founders become totally impatient, so they just run around without even pausing to take a breath. And then what happens? The point is that you need to take care of yourself. You need to approach your business as a marathon, as a long race. So we need to, instill this very important trait in our students, in our friends also, like for our startup co-founders, that we need to be patient, we need to be consistent, and we have to build momentum each day. Because whenever we are working on any passionate project, it's only the consistency that matters. And if we feel stuck, we need to step away, we need to look at the bigger picture, we need to take time to analyze, and then we can create a plan, and then again we can start the journey. And at the same times, normally as an entrepreneur or maybe as a faculty while doing research or innovation, sometimes we feel that we don't have all the answers, and we become impatient, we become frustrated. But I firmly believe that it's okay to have not all the answers in one go. And this what happens, like we have actually come to the terms with the fact that we actually don't know the answer, and acknowledging this is the first step to fixing it. Normally we are in our own social taboos as faculty. In fact, I had been in the academia for the last before my stint in PhD chamber, I'm with this industry organization for the last 10.5 years. Before that, I had a stint in the academia for another around 10 years. So normally we have a feeling that we know most of the things, but now I actually come to understanding that we know nothing. There has to be that DNA of consistent learning, constant learning, which need to be seated in our DNA as well as for the students also. And at the same time, starting any project or starting any business, again we have come revisit the why part of business. I am sure that you must have read the book of Simon Sinek, Start with Why. If you have not read this book, please read this book, Start with Why, or you can probably watch the Simon Sinek's TED Talk. This is how great the leaders inspire action. So this is a very, very inspiring talk, and it starts by telling us that all great companies, the likes of your Apples, Facebook, Googles, they all started with this why behind their existence. as opposed to what they actually do. And the more time we spend in isolation, in answering this why, the first of all thing that comes is that why actually tells us it's a torchlight for all of us to actually tread our path. So we need to find our why. In fact, you have to tell your students also, please find the why I'm starting this business, why I'm in this particular situation. And this, once anybody finds why, please paste it in your room and look at it whenever you are lost or confused. And in fact, I always look at my why, and then I put it, that sometimes put me back on the track. In fact, in my room, I have a big poster also, a frame wherein I put my all these whys, and why sometimes this keeps on evolving also. But the point is, reading them every day keeps this momentum going. Now, at the same time, I need to give a very strong emphasis on the concept of sustainability, because we have businesses, people make money, people make small businesses, from micro to small enterprises to medium, and then to large conglomerates. So this element of sustainability, the footprints of sustainability has to be there in each and every value life creation of a business. Because if we are not going for the sustainable development, it seems to be a jargon, sustainable development, sustainability. But mind it, my dear fellows, that my friends, it's very important. The agenda of sustainability has to be crystal clear in our mind. And as we are leapfrogging towards attaining sustainable development goals by 2030, it's very important that in each and every act, whether we purchase something or we give something, or whatever things, material things we are using in an everyday life, whatever thing we are trying to produce or whatever service we are going to give, it has to have this footprint of sustainability. Because what I feel that if as Professor Rana said about disaster management, because most of the disasters are nothing but they are man-made disasters if you are not treading the path of sustainability. And the point is that because in a country like India, as we know, there is so much inequality. We talk of inclusive growth, but if you go in hinterlands, go around 100 kilometers from Delhi, you will see this inclusion word gradually gets faded away as you move towards the villages and go in the interior areas. So I believe that our have-nots, they are at the risk. Whatever business, whatever entrepreneurship model we do, we have to actually devise our businesses, our programs, our processes should have some strategies for them also. They should be equally part and parcel of our entire, ecosystem of our business thinking. Because what I feel that our hopeful, forward-looking realities, they are normally, shadowed by suffering, abuse, degradation, marginalization. So we don't always have to be attentive towards the bright and dazzling things. We don't have to go for event management or only the Photoshop opportunities. We have to also see the dark and depressing things also, because we need to integrate the light and the dark. And the education communities, they have to be engaged in this. You have to play a very, very important role in this entire value chain. And in many parts of our country, I am a firm believer that the opposite of poverty and marginalization is not wealth. The opposite of poverty is nothing but education and skill development and providing sustainable services and products to everybody. Because I feel that at the end of the day, we will not be ultimately judged by our technology, by our design or design thinking, or by our GDP or by our IIP, or what all new schemes we are giving to the people. We will be actually judged by the character of our society and how we treat our poor people. And that is when we will understand truly profound things about who we are. So this is all from my side. I wish all the best to all the delegates in this platform. And I'm sure that under the tutelage of JNU have the best of the faculties in the world. I have been interacting with them for many, many years. And I feel that the JNU faculties, they have a passion of, they always embed humanity and technology. And I'm sure that the outcome that you will derive from all these courses definitely will have very, very positive footprints in your entire life. Thank you very much. Thank you again for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, Dr. Singh, for sharing valuable information, and you have touched each and every point. So like the overview of entrepreneurship and innovations, then how academia can play a very, very important role, and the concept of the sustainability. So like the entrepreneurship and innovation is not only a business, but how we can develop the sustainable incubation, a sustainable world. That is also very, very important. Thank you very much, sir, for sparing your valuable time. So in the last, we have the sharing experience from the participant, so that they can share their experience after like the valedictory address or the main address by our guest also. So we were not able to invite each and every participant, although we have some session interaction with the course coordinator, and they have also. So I would like to invite out of 2 participants, first Pooja Arora from Disaster Management course. I would like to request you, please share your experience within 2 minutes among all of the participants. Over to you, Dr. Pooja. Dr. Pooja Arora, are you there? Yeah, I would like to request Dr. Govind, please share your experience. Yeah.
Maybe Pooja might join, sir, I think. So let's wait for respected dignitaries, course coordinators, and fellow participants. Thank you for the opportunity, first of all, to present this short feedback. The course on disaster management was fantastically organized. We had very good resource persons for every session, and they did cover a lot of very interesting aspects of disaster management. And we also had a very good supporting coordinator, always motivating us throughout the session, right? Creating interactions coming in between, and motivating us to interact with each other, and to learn more as well. We also had a very supportive team led by Gaurav, supporting us with the technical glitches and other issues which were handled very smoothly. With regard to the course of FDP, I have 2 suggestions to make. One is with regard to the course, because DM disaster management is a huge chunk of content that we are dealing with. Maybe it can be divided into 2 different aspects. One is the fundamental aspect, and another advanced aspect. Because fundamental aspect, it can be at awareness level, incorporating all the disciplines together. Just like this course we had participants from various disciplines, and the advanced level can be for those subjects who are already having disaster management courses or papers in their curriculum, just like geography, geology, environmental science, botany, zoology, etc. Now, wherein some advanced methodologies can be there are lots of developments that is happening in this sector that can be shared, because that will be helpful for them for the course, running their course also, and sharing with the students. Second point was which HRDC can take up in a big manner, is developing a Moodle platform or Moodle-like platform, wherein doing courses through this, including the scheduling of the video classes, live classes, etc., and sharing some materials, preliminary materials on this, and maybe asking or assessing the students who are joining the course, pre-course short assessments, such kind of things, right? Some material sharing, especially resource persons were highlighting so many very interesting papers. Some of them are paid, and we may not have direct access to them. So if these things are shared through them with their permissions, right, and Moodle will be completely under control of HRDC, so that there will be no misuse of that as well. So this will help us actually in transmitting lots more of what we have learned to the younger generations whom we are dealing with. and no, and there will be a network of network established as well, a constant network established as well with the HRDC, right? Including even the sometimes some participants do miss out on the sessions because of internet related issues and all. So the video recordings can be put in low resolution through the Moodle itself, which will help them to cover up the sessions, etc. Right. So such kind of new initiatives, maybe being at apex of the universities in India. So maybe such kind of developments will help us, other universities also to take the opportunity to emulate and progress. So that's all from my side. Once again, I thank HRDC, our coordinator, and all the fellow participants and the HRDC team. Thank you again.
Thank you, Dr. Govind. I would like to request participant when they present the sharing experience, they need to introduce so that our esteemed guest can.
I am Govindan Kuti. I am assistant professor of geography at Government College Chittoor in Palakkad.
Okay, thank you. Now I would like to request Dr. Pooja Arora. Madam, please share your experience on behalf of all the participants. Over to you, madam.
Thank you so much, sir. Very good evening to respected dignitaries, Director HRDC, course coordinator, Dr. P.K. Joshi, HRD staff, and my co-participants. This is Dr. Pooja Arora from Department of Zoology, KLDV PG College, Roorkee. It was really very well organized STC. All the lectures were very knowledgeable, valuable, and informative. Thanks so much for providing us opportunity to moderate the session. It was really great experience. As you know, that speaker is the best person to give insights and solution to the subject. They were really related to the actual topic. They best set up the link between subject and the audience. All the resource persons were master of their subjects. This STC was excellent, and it really made me stop and think about where I'm going and how I'm using my time. Thanks very much for this wonderful experience. I have attended similar courses before. Yours was by far the most useful, terrific, and memorable, thought-provoking too. It helped me to keep the momentum on. I appreciate your consideration, Dr. P.K. Joshi. It was, you were really having very inspiring and positive personality. Please accept my deepest thanks, everyone. Thank you all. And I just want to add some lines in the last. It's like that. बेहतर से बेहतर की तलाश करो, बेहतर से बेहतर की तलाश करो, मिल जाए नदी तो समंदर की तलाश करो. टूट जाता है शीशा पत्थर की चोट से, टूट जाता है शीशा पत्थर की चोट से, टूट जाए पत्थर ऐसा शीशा तलाश करो. Thanks all.
Thank you, Dr. Arora. Now I would like to request Dr. P.S. Manjula from the courses on entrepreneurship, innovation, and startup. I would like to request you, please share your experience, ma'am. Over to you.
Thank you, sir. A warm good evening to all the dignitaries here, my course coordinators, the dignitaries from the UGC HRDC, fellow participants from the Entrepreneurship, Innovation, and Startup Program, as well as my fellow participants from the other course that we are having. First of all, I am Dr. P.S. Manjula, faculty from the Department of Management Studies, University of Madras, and I'm also the program convener for the Entrepreneurship and Career Hub initiative of the University of Madras, which is run under the RUSA program of the UGC. So that itself is a big motivator for me to be a part of this endeavor that the Jawaharlal Nehru University is conducting. And I was really looking forward to be part of this. They say that the capacity to learn is a gift. The ability to learn is a skill. And the willingness to learn is a choice. So first of all, my thanks to the Almighty for bestowing in me the gift, the skill, and enabling me to make the right choice of being here at JNU. Now, coming to my feedback, success of any such program cannot be accidental. And it is definitely a result of commitment and planned efforts of lot. So that way, I think we have to congratulate each one of them who have been part of this team of the UGC HRDC. particularly the two coordinators who have been very good to interact with. I've thoroughly enjoyed my interactions with them. The program content has been well structured and it was so designed very beautifully. See, the course content of these kind of things, it is only appreciated when there is diversity and there is high practical and pragmatism, which is incorporated in them. So that way, I think, again, it was a very good effort. The resource persons were carefully handpicked, and we had an eclectic mix of speakers, both from the academia and the industry. So that gave the program the much needed credibility and was able to build in the rigor in the program. So I thank the organizers for carefully bringing in such learned resource persons who were willing to share their resources and their expertise. Training the trainers is one of the most noblest things that one can do, because it is only the education which can be a powerful weapon in changing this society as a whole. So again, there was this opportunity that we got to be the change agents for every institution that we are going to be, and we are going to work towards getting our goals done. The key takeaways, when I look back from this program, has been the learning that I have got from here, because one realizes that learning never exhausts the mind. And I've learned that I thoroughly enjoy learning and feel that there is much more to be learned in every niche area that we pick and choose. It was an opportunity for me to network and acquaint with some of the like-minded academicians. I look at this as an investment of opportunity or knowledge, which is always going to pay me the best dividends. One or two suggestions that I have. So again, I forgot to mention that I'm also very impressed with the way they managed the time scheduling. There was no glitch whatsoever. They were so very well organized in sending us the communications. So the people who are working at the backstage also need to be congratulated for the sometimes the thankless job to do, I understand. But I think they need to be appreciated for whatever they have been contributing. I really wish that the icebreaker session could have been there in the beginning, so that we could have acquainted ourselves with the fellow participants, which we got an opportunity a little late. So I really wish that it is somewhere in the beginning of the program, so that we are able to be a little bit more informal within ourselves, and there is a better communication that can flow between the participants. So that peer interaction is something that I really missed. I wish it was there. In our program, I felt that there was a more stress on the biology aspects. So from the bio entrepreneurs or bioinformatics, biotechnology, I wish that, when you organize the program next time, there are also other aspects taken into account. Like you can even talk about the failure of entrepreneurs, or you can talk about rural entrepreneurship or edupreneurs. So other than the bio, one or two you can talk on your thrust or key areas, but we can also have, because it is a very diverse audience. So that will be much appreciated. Once again, I'm so happy that this program is helping me to set goals that drives me to synergize my thoughts, liberate my apprehensions, and inspires me to newer hopes. I look forward to joining yet another program with the JNU. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, ma'am, for sharing your experience. Now we have a last participant, Dr. Sanjeev Bora. Kindly share your experience. Over to you.
Good afternoon, respected dignitaries, all the fellow participants and course coordinators. At the very outset, I would like to thank HRD JNU for giving me this opportunity to share my views at the valedictory session. Actually, I have enjoyed a lot. I will say that I was fortunate to be a part of this program, this 1-week course. And from this course, I have got not only me, all the fellow participants of mine have got exposure to some new ideas. From my side, I would like to say that from this course only, I have come to know that a university teacher could also be a entrepreneur. Earlier, I have no idea about this. I thought that how a university teacher or a college teacher could be an independent entrepreneur or a businessman. Okay, that was the greatest thing I have learned. And as my fellow participants have shared their views, that we discussed regarding the different aspects of our program in our feedback sessions with our course coordinator, course coordinator. I hope that all those aspects will be in a future programs. We're fortunate to have Dr. Anamika Madam and Dr. Hemant sir as our course coordinators. They were very much cooperative. I would also like to thank all the people behind the program, the people from the HRD JNU. As Joshi sir has said that they have not compromised with the course content. Okay, of course the course content was great, but at the same time we have missed the JNU campus. I was fortunate to participate 2 such programs earlier. That's offline programs. One was in 2008, the orientation program, and another was in 2016. That was the refresher program. But this time we have missed the greenery of the green campus of JNU. Hope we will be able to have such programs in future, such live program. Once again, I would like to thank course coordinator, my fellow participant from both the course, that is the entrepreneurship development, and as well as the course in disaster management, and all the people of HRD JNU. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Bora. And I assure you that all your feedback is very, very important to us. And like whatever the mistake, or there may be the sum of, we may not be able to provide something. So it's like your feedback is helping us to improve ourselves, and we are trying to improve in each and every course. And I hope that we have fulfilled your expectation. And I again repeating here that the JNU will never compromise with the quality. So that is also very, very important. So we have come to the end of this memorable combined valedictory session for these 2 short-term course. But before I present a vote of thanks, I have few announcements for the participant. I hope during this valedictory session, you all have got your relieving order in your email box. So you can download and submit in your offices. And the second, regarding certificate, you will get by the next week your online certificate. And the JNU HRDC is only one HRDC which are providing the hard copy of the certificate. So by the next week, you can receive, or you can get your the hard copy of certificate on the concerned address, which we have collected from here to you also. So please give us 10 to 12 days for the hard copy, and by next week you can get, because we need some time for packaging and other thing also. And the third announcement, because we may not be able to offer you tea and coffee during this course, and you may, as Rana sir told, that miss this opportunity to visit the campus. So I welcome you in other courses also. When we will start these offline courses, you are always welcome, and please associate with us for all these academic work or research activities with the JNU. So thank you very much. Now it is my sincere responsibility to propose a vote of thanks on behalf of the HRDC JNU and all the JNU family. First of all, we would like to express our vote of thanks and gratitude to our respected Vice Chancellor, Professor M. Jagdish Kumar sir. So thank you very much for our Vice Chancellor for providing all support, encouragement, and motivation to conduct such program. We were also honored, and our deep sense of gratitude to respected Rana sir, our rector of the JNU. Thank you very much, sir, for sparing your valuable time, your support. And I believe that by your presence, all our participants were highly benefited, sir. And your words were very motivating to all of us. So I hope that everyone will, when they return to their institution, they will try to work on the path which you have shown, sir. I would like to thank Dr. Jitendra Singh, sir. Thank you very much, sir, by very short notice, because yesterday just Dr. Hemant have approached to you, and you just given a concern that you will come. Thank you very much, sir. Friend, that no course is complete without the hard work of the coordinator. So this success of the these all courses goes to all the coordinator, and it is due to their dedication and enthusiasm and their determination and commendable hard work. And that from the last 1 month, they are working day and night for arranging high quality resource person and all. So my heartfelt thanks to all 3 coordinators, and for arranging all these lectures, resource person, presenting the brief report also in the inaugural session about the courses also. Thank you very much, sir. And we are highly appreciate the effort of all these coordinators for both courses, for arranging high quality, experienced and diverse resource person who are authority in their expertise or in their respected subject or the areas. We would also acknowledge and our heartfelt thanks to all the resource person, those who have delivered their talk and they spare the valuable time with you. We were also thanks to all your head of the institutions or your institutions, because without their recommendation, without their nomination, you may not be able to attend these courses. So our thanks to all the head of the institutions also. I, on behalf of the HRDC JNU, we will also try to incorporate whatever the suggestion you have also given. And finally, we would also thanks to our all HRDC team. They are the backbone of these all courses. And you know that the Gaurav is working in front of 3 or the 2 system, monitoring everything. So a huge round of applause to all my HRDC team, technical assistant, Gaurav ji, Neha ji, then Arora madam, Om Prakash ji. I would like to thanks our director HRDC for providing all our support or conducting all these courses. And friend, this is not the end. This is the beginning. Now, like you are a part of also the GNU. And I will quote here that let me end by saying few words and challenging my all fellow participants to go out and shine your light. You are the light of the world. A town bullet on a hill cannot be hidden. Go out and shine and let the world rejoice with hope at your shining light. Thank you all once again and congratulations to you all for successfully completing both the courses, and congratulations again. Thank you very much and namaste to you all. So
thank you, sir.
Yeah, with the permission of Rana sir, can we close the meeting, sir?
आपको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद संजीव जी, इतने अच्छे शब्दों के साथ समाप्ति करने के लिए। सारे पार्टिसिपेंट्स की तरफ से मैं आपको धन्यवाद देता हूँ।
Thank you, sir. So Rana sir, can we close the meeting?
Yes, please.
Yeah, over to you technical team. Please close the meeting.